All right, I'm sitting down with Elisia Flores, the CEO of L&L Hawaiian Barbecue. Elisia, thanks for joining me.
Aloha, thank you for having me.
So this is, I love the story of L&L, and we're going to get into it, but I think it is surprising when a lot of folks hear that this is more than 200 locations that you guys have.
We just opened our 230th location.
That's amazing.
Virginia.
I think it blows people's minds because they're like, what? But you're out of Hawaii. Tell us the story. What's the story of L&L?
I love telling the story.
Yeah.
So L&L was founded by my father, Eddie Flores, and his business partner, Johnson Cam. And it truly is the American dream. They're both immigrants to the United States, and my dad actually bought the restaurant for his mother, my grandmother, again, as an opportunity for their family to really try to thrive in a new country. No expectation of doing more than just one store, but lo and behold, over 40 years later, we have 230 locations. We're a fast casual concept, founded again in Hawaii, still headquartered there. We specialize in the plate lunch, which is a very common dish in Hawaii, which is rice as your starch, macaroni salad, and a protein. We call it Hawaiian barbecue, teriyaki-based barbecue meats.
Yeah.
So it's awesome, it's delicious, and I love that people are really enjoying our food that we get to expand.
Yeah. So we talked about in a session earlier here at Restaurant Leadership Conference about how Hawaiian plate lunch is a growing category, and there's a lot of opportunity there. What do you see as being the opportunity for this category?
I think this category has tremendous growth. I love that we are the original, and for a long time there was not a lot of other competition. There's a lot of new people that moved into the space because I think consumers are really open to new and different styles of food. They also mentioned that in the same session.
Yeah.
Rice as your main starch for a lunch or dinner is very common in Hawaii.
Right.
It's not common probably anywhere else in the country, but it's delicious. And I think the consumers tell us the food that's good, people will want and continue to want, and I love that Hawaiian barbecue is a flavor people are enjoying now.
Yeah. All right, so I'm from the East Coast, and so the Hawaiian plate lunch is pretty new to me,
Yes.
and I imagine a lot of Americans it's pretty new. Tell me about how you can introduce Americans to this as you grow.
Yes, I remember a story from many years ago when we first opened in Chicago, when we had a store in Chicago, and we have, rice served, and people couldn't tell from the image that it was rice, they thought it was ice cream.
Oh.
So it is, education to the customer. I like to describe it as the comfort food of Hawaii, because everyone understands comfort food.
Yeah.
It's, it reminds you of home, it reminds you of your family, it fills your belly, you get this warm feeling once you eat the food. Plate lunch is just like that. It's just different styles of flavors. We have fried chicken, just like fried chicken you'd see anywhere else, but ours is panko crusted. We have barbecue chicken, just like you have in other places, but then it's teriyaki-based marinade. So it's a different type of food, but familiar concepts.
Right. I appreciate that you say that about the comfort food, because I'm from Ohio, so Midwest, it's like meat and potatoes, meat and rice.
Yes.
Like, there are real connective tissue here, and I don't think you have to try very hard with a Midwesterner to tell them, oh, meat and rice with some really yummy flavor.
My wife is from Ohio, and she had never experienced plate lunch before, but once she did, she was turned.
Okay,
Yes.
So perfect. Well, you got to come to Ohio now,
I
right?
guess
I mean,
so.
come on, your wife can spearhead the effort, right? Okay, so I love this story, though, too, because your father starts this company. Did you always think you would be involved with the brand?
So I grew up in the restaurant, right? And I think I didn't always expect to be in the business. I didn't want to work for my dad my whole life. I love the guy, but that just sounded terrible. So I left the company for a while after college, and for a long time, just quite frankly, I didn't think I would want to come back in. I had some really fun and sexy jobs, and just honestly, the restaurant industry is such a hard space, right?
Totally.
The thought of coming into this very difficult business, working for my family, moving back home to Hawaii was not appealing. After many years in a corporate job, it became more appealing. And what really pushed me over the edge, again, everything I have in my life and my family is because of the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
It was our American dream come true. And I realized my job at L&L is not selling more franchises, it's not selling more plates, although that's what we do. My job is helping other people achieve their American dream, and I can do that all day, every day.
Yeah. So you had a finance background, as I understand
Yes.
it. You became CFO of the brand before becoming CEO. Tell me about maybe some of your ideas you brought to L&L and some of the ways you're kind of putting your own fingerprints on it.
Yes, so when I came in, it was we were large. We're large right now, but we act more like a mom and pop kind of emerging brand. Again, we were founded by two people who had no idea it would grow this big. So as you can imagine, things are slapped together, there's duct tape, and I came in with a very corporate background. Mm-hmm. And to me, everything was, a hot mess.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it's been putting in systems, putting in process, putting a strategy together. We obviously have a proven concept. Now, how can we strategically think about growing and doubling our footprint and more?
Right, sure. Okay, so what do you think that looks like? Like, where did you start, I guess?
Yeah, so I started, I don't know if it was because I was the daughter or because I just had a very different viewpoint, but I came in and I was like, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. And I realized after maybe 6 months that I needed to just shut up and I needed to learn. I needed to witness and view. It didn't make sense, but it worked. And so why is it working? And what are the things that actually do make sense? I just couldn't see it right then. And what are the things that truly don't make sense for our future? So it was honestly, so I was 5 years in my CFO role before becoming CEO. And those were really great years for me to really learn our company, our guts, and again, what is our core value that we want to bring forward and what is something that might be holding us back. And also, we're a franchise company. All of our units are franchised. Truly understanding our franchise base and thinking about the future. If I'm making changes, I want to bring as many franchisees along with me. I don't want to turn the ship so fast that people fall off the boat. And so really understanding my franchisee base and seeing what's best for them, for all of us as a whole.
So for a company that's over 40 years old now,
Yes.
right? I imagine a lot of franchisees have been around for a while.
Longer than I've been in the company.
Yeah, so tell me about not only how you can make sure you're continuing to meet their needs, but bringing new franchisees into the fold too. What does that look like?
So I love our brand, our franchisees. I feel like one extra thing unique about them is most of them have some special connection to Hawaii as well. Either they were born and raised there or they had a great family time there, whatever their memory is of Hawaii.
Yeah.
It makes them want to open an L&L because they want to share that aloha spirit, that feeling of Hawaii into the community that they are in. And so our existing franchisee, it's really about relationships. It's always been the foundation of our company is relationships. We're a family-based company with my dad and his business partners' kids are in the business as well. And it was their friendship and we want that feeling with our franchisees. We call them ohana, they're part of the family, and we treat them that way. When we think about new franchisees, that's the bars for us as well. We want people who come in and feel that family. Mm-hmm. The thing that I'm thinking through now is that, as we expand, as we think about multi-unit franchisees, as we think about expanding into new markets, I know these franchisees are out there, but also how do we think about broadening the type of franchisee who we might want to work with, who have a lot of experience with fast growth, something that we're just starting right now. But key for us is always fit. This company is so important to me. It's so important to the franchisees that are in. I want to make sure the people we bring in just add to the company culture.
Sure. All right, so similarly, of course, rich legacy in this brand. And also a simplicity to it, too,
Yes.
right, in the menu that's not a lot of bells and whistles.
No.
But when you think about the restaurant industry today, of course, there are a lot of bells and whistles, and I'm sure it's easy to look at some of these, high-tech platforms and things. How do you, I guess, push forward and innovate with L&L while recognizing the legacy that your father started?
Yeah, I think, it's funny, in the session with Peter from Jersey Mike's, his comment about so many brands just always coming back to the core. I think there's a balance you need in the industry. You need the innovation, you need new things, but the customers love you. The reason you're able to grow, are the things that the customers are always going to want, the things
Right.
that you started with. So I think for us, the food, we're not changing. Maybe we'll bring on some new menu items. The change is coming from the innovation, the technology innovation. And I wouldn't say we're a very tech-forward company. We're big, but we're not big enough that we can make huge investments in tech. But we want to make sure we can serve customers however they want to order, whether it's coming in through third-party delivery, through our app, through loyalty. We're trying to get smarter about our digital, our data collect, just like with everyone, with data collection, understanding the data and being able to actually act on it, whether it's through marketing or franchise sales. So, the menu isn't changing because we know that's what the customers want. We know that's what got us from one store to 230.
Right.
But how we can continue making sure we give a great customer experience, that's what we'll always innovate for.
Okay. All right, so tell me about what your sort of vision for the next couple of years looks like, because you have grown a lot since you took over this brand.
Yes.
Do you really want to accelerate that?
I do. So, again, our Hawaiian barbecue space category is growing. We were the first chain brand to sell the Hawaii plate lunch. We're the biggest right now, and I want to maintain, obviously we'll always be the original, but I want to maintain that we're the biggest. And beyond that, I think this is a great time for consumers wanting our style of food. It's our responsibility, I think, to grow and to make sure we can serve it to everyone who wants.
Sure.
2 years ago, I made a goal for our company to grow to 500 stores, which I know for a lot of folks here at RLC, that's not a big number, but for us, that's more than doubling what we have.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. We just had our franchisee convention last week, and I had existing operators sign up for 30 more units. So, I'm feeling the love from my franchise group. We're feeling the excitement for people who are learning about Hawaiian barbecue and wanting to open. So I think it's a great time for us to continue growing, and that's my plan. Again, but always balancing, we've been a small company, we're from Hawaii, we'll always be we'll always be headquartered in Hawaii, making sure we still grow at a pace that makes sense for our company, our values, and our franchisees.
All right, so if you get to 500 locations, and I believe you can do it, when you get there, that means you're probably in most American states.
Yes.
And at that point, you've achieved some incredible growth. And at that point, probably the Hawaiian plate lunch has become pervasive in America. What does that mean to you? How cool is it, I guess, to think about like all Americans really understanding what the Hawaiian plate lunch is?
Oh my gosh, that'd be a dream. I feel so, again, my family, our families moved to Hawaii. That was the state they ended up in when they came to America. And our state the community supported us. They gave my parents the opportunity to form this company, to be able to help continue the legacy that my family and the Cam family started, to help spread Hawaii and just the diversity, the culture, the openness. What a privilege.
Yeah. That's cool. It's cool to think about. I believe you can get there.
I hadn't thought about, I'm focused on the next and not actually hitting 500, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
Elisia Flores of L&L Hawaiian Barbecue, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.